So 5 minutes early I start. And this is going to be my Sunday live show where I come on and I answer your questions. Questions and answers, Q&A, question and answers. So my topics are acting, directing, and editing. Now I've been doing this for a while, and I decided to move the show over, the Sunday show, over to Vertical Live, because Vertical Live has been giving me a lot of good response. I do Vertical Live all through the week, but short ones. I come on and I try to make sure that I give a tip right when I start. So I give that tip, and you don't have to stick around for the whole video if you're not interested or you have something else to do or you want to continue swiping. So I try to make it valuable. I try to give out something right away that can help either with acting, directing, or editing. Those are my main topics. But today on Sundays is different. I want to talk about your questions. So you'll ask questions. I have my, which I'm going to switch right now. As a matter of fact, I'll have my YouTube studio open back here. Let's refresh it so that I can go live. Let's try this. See if it's picked up my stream. That's why we start a little bit early, because sometimes you run into problems and you don't expect. So I'm going to have it over here so I can see it a little bit easier. And I'm live, but it hasn't picked it up yet. So let's see. I need to go to the stream, or I need to go here. Let's say, no, stream, say next. Oh, Sunday live. See, you always run into little issues. Next, and it's going to be public, done. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a stream that's already streaming. Here it is. This one says upcoming, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to delete this. I understand. Delete. And this one is my live stream. So that's where I'll be able to see you guys. Hello. Thanks for stopping by. Just doing some housekeeping before I move on to the Sunday live. Like I said earlier, I'm almost about to start. I usually like to start a little bit early because you see what happened there. Whenever you're going live, you have to be prepared for little technical issues. And one just hit me. So hello. Thanks for stopping by. I see your comments. Say hi. Said hi. Thank you. Check out before I start the show, I'm about to start any moment. If you don't know who I am, James Adam Tucker. My channel is Unedited with James Adam Tucker. You'll see the link below. If you haven't been to my channel, please go. I have lots and lots of content, acting, directing, and editing. And today, you so happen to be here on my Sunday live show where I answer your questions. I like to talk to people and about acting, directing, and editing. I'm going to go ahead and start. And this is my Sunday live show, James Adam Tucker. I'm supposed to have a little bit of light on myself here. Let's try that out. There we go. Let's see, I turn it up a little bit. Give me a little bit more light so you can see me better. Yeah, there you go. See, I'm all set up. I have lights. I have my microphone on. My connection is good. So thank you. Thanks for joining Sunday Live, where I answer your questions about acting, directing, or editing. All right, let's see here. A question just came in. Let me take a look at it. I got a medical. I want to become a singer. How can I manage my passion while being in the background environment? That's a great question from the Jersey Devil. You're in college and you're okay, so you're in college, you're not too impressed with your college environment. I kind of can relate. Can relate. I went to a small state school in Maryland, studying radio, television, and production. And I found out that I was also interested in acting. So you said you're interested in singing. I would definitely recommend, if your college offers any musical programs, anything that's related to singing, anything that's related to music studies. So that might be something you might want to take as a minor. And it could be an unofficial minor also. So you don't have to register your minor. You don't always have to do that. It could be an unofficial minor. It's something that you want to study that will enhance your knowledge and work towards a goal that you may really more be interested to and drawn to, while still keeping your main degree. And if you want to, you said you want to get into the medical field. So yes, if you feel that this is the right school for you for your medical field, and they have something that's in the arts, which can give you the opportunity to work with your musical background and practice your singing and develop your singing. And you might even be able to reach out to local groups in the community where your college is. So don't feel trapped. Another thing about being in a degree like that is that you're not sure about, or you don't think the school is up to par, but you're already there. Don't be afraid to look into the possibility of transferring. You may be in the middle of a semester or just started a semester, and start looking into that possibility. Don't stay. I always tell people, I've done tons of videos on it, don't ignore the red flags. And a lot of the information I give out pertains to everyday life, your jobs, your career, your education, where you're currently studying. If it doesn't appear that they have the facilities you need, if it doesn't appear that the program is not what you need, start seriously looking around for the possibility to transfer. Because if there are problems with the program, you're not the only one experiencing it. So maybe you have a counselor there. Maybe you have a counselor at some of the other potential schools that have better programs. So don't ignore those red flags. If you think you need to transfer, start actively looking into it. You can keep it under the radar for now. Continue to go to your classes, continue to study, but don't get stuck and do your 4 years or waste a year at a program that's not right for you. So do your research, talk to other students who are in these other programs. You may want to just visit schools that are close by, or schools that have programs that you think would fit you better. Visit them. Don't get stuck in a school that's not performing or you're not satisfied with, and because you've already went through all the hurdles to get there. Again, 4 years in college, 8 years in college, you have to believe in the program. You have to connect to the program. So don't get stuck. Medical field is a great field. It's going to always be around. You're going to always be able to find employment, but it's good. I'm glad you're asking these questions. Don't get stuck. That's the bottom line. Now back to your musical aspirations. You can pursue those also. If you decide that this medical school is good for you and you may want to go to a different one, there are programs where you can pursue your music on a minor, like I said. If your current school doesn't have it, there may be some community schools in the area that have musical programs that would fit what you want to learn, that would fit ways to develop your talent. So don't feel locked in. When you're young, that's the time to make these moves. That's the time to get prepared. You don't want to wait 4 years, 8 years, and not work towards your goal. So I'm glad you answered that question. I'm glad you asked that question. I hope that helps. Let me see what else I have coming up here. So what I normally do too, while I'm waiting for more questions, I talk about my topics: acting, directing, and editing. Today, I have a list up here. I thought I'd talk a little bit about directing. I haven't talked much about directing. I've done a number of videos on directing, but I haven't talked about it on my live stream. So let's get into it a little bit. I have 10 talking points that I always like to start with about new directors or people interested in getting involved with directing. Let's see, I have another comment here. Oh, you're welcome, Jersey Devil. And I hope some of that advice can help you. If you need some more follow-up advice, my email is in the description below. Feel free to email me. I love to answer these questions that are, entertainment related, educational related. I've also been an instructor at different universities. I worked at UCLA at their extension program. I've worked at adult schools. I've worked at high school level, grammar school level. So I can give you some good information on educational pursuit and also point you in the right direction. So feel free to email me if you need. But back to the directing. So you decided you want to dabble in directing, video, film. You might want to just be starting here on YouTube. I'm going to be directing a lot of entertainment content here on YouTube. And I've started already. I've been directing for the past 35 years, over that. And I decided to bring my talent here to YouTube to create YouTube first content. And what I mean by that is content that's created exclusively for YouTube. One thing I want to work on, which as a matter of fact, I was watching a new video last night about the increased surge in vertical videos. That's why I love doing this vertical live, because I really want to get more into creating vertical content for here on YouTube, and entertainment related, story related. There are a number of Chinese websites that create what, for a lack of a better word, series, soap operas, vertical dramas. And I really want to get into that. I know it's something that's coming here to the United States, and I want to get into it here on YouTube. The only problem is, it's not really a problem. I'm going to do some here on YouTube and use them on my channel. So I will also offer more content on a sister website that I plan to build that will host content for other content creators who want to work in the vertical space, because it's really something big and it's just going to get bigger. A lot of people consume their media here vertically on their phones, and this is an avenue that's really exploding. Let me take a look at the comment here. Yes, I understand what you're saying. How do you stay motivated? Now, that's a topic that I talked about before too. You need to, as far as motivation goes and juggling between your long hours of classes and practicing your passion, you need to actively schedule. I know you have a lot in your schedule already. I understand it. Medical degree, medical field is very demanding. But what you can do is you need to actively set aside time for something that is your passion. Don't only focus on the educational part of it. You need to be balanced. You need to be well-rounded. It's difficult, but it can be done. Even if you just set aside, okay, you have the certain time that you have to be in class. Now that time is blocked out. But you look at the other times that you have available and you prioritize your passion to spend maybe an hour on it each day. And maybe, for instance, if it's singing, you have some time that you spend right after class to do something that you really like, that you are passionate about. So give yourself maybe that 1 hour every day to work towards your passion, whatever that passion is. And then go back, after that 1 hour is over, go back and do maybe an hour on your studies that you need to do. Because I know when you're in a intensive degree, you need to study on your own also to keep up with the class, not just what you learn in class. Learning in class is only part of it. Most of it is studying on your own. So you need to set yourself a schedule and stick to it. And you need to have some time to just to unwind. Like, I don't know, maybe you read, maybe you listen to music, maybe you have some friends. You said you're kind of isolated. Maybe you need to reach out somehow and try to make more friends possibly that are near you. Maybe join a few of the student groups that are in your field of study. Or even better, if your school has some programs that you're passionate about, get involved with other people who are in those programs. Get involved in the groups, join a few groups. And it doesn't have to be a time-consuming thing. That you will schedule that into your work schedule. So schedule some time for yourself to pursue your passion. Schedule that time that you need to do the extra studying, and also schedule some free time just to relax. So I know it sounds maybe daunting, but if you really plan and you start sticking to your schedule little by little, you will find that time for yourself and you will use that time. Because if you're feeling this pressure, then that means you need to allot time for your passion and allot time for some relaxation. Sometimes where you just read, maybe you take a walk in the park, maybe you sit outside at the door in the dorm, outside the dorm if you're in a facility like that, in a park there or something, or outside the library. So schedule those times into your schedule. Don't forget to have time scheduled for yourself. I hope that helps. Again, feel free to email me. I'd love to talk to you more and try and give you some common sense advice. Like I said, a lot of my work has been in counseling and customer service also. It's all tied into the entertainment business. And so I have advice that I think can help, and I enjoy trying to reach out. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Okay, so back to my directing. Now, I want to start with a real simple topic that I have up here that explains the director's role. Sometimes a film or television director, when you're thinking about, boy, I would love to do that. I would love to make programs. I would love to direct. I would love to create my own content. Now, if you're here on YouTube, you have an opportunity that didn't exist 20 years ago because YouTube wasn't around. There was no place where you could create content and then go and share it with the world. There was no such thing. When I started, if I wanted to create something, there were tons of gatekeepers. And what I mean by gatekeepers, those are the people in charge of the network. Those are the people in charge of film distribution. Those are the people who are in charge of the whole business, where if you wanted to create something that you wanted people to look at, to follow you, to hear your voice, you had to first convince the gatekeepers that you were worthy, that your content should be shared, that your content should be shown. And that is the power. That is the power and the freedom that we enjoy now with sites like YouTube. You can, just like I'm doing right now, create your own content, get your message out there, reach people who are interested in what you have to say. There has never been anything like this. So if you are interested in being a director, I always tell everyone, start small. Start small. If you have a cell phone, mostly all cell phones, what I'm speaking to you on right now is a low-end Android cell phone. And look how good the quality is. I have a little light here that's bringing my image up, making me brighter, making me easier to see. You can create vertical shorts for YouTube and learn your skill as a director. Learn what it's like to work with actors. Learn what it's like to tell a story from the director's point of view. So the thing of the director, especially on a small scale, when you're first starting out, you will wear many hats. You will have to wear many hats to get going. You're going to be the writer. You're going to be the producer. You're going to be the editor. You're going to be the makeup, the lighting technician, the sound technician. You're going to be the wardrobe. And you're going to even do craft services where you provide food for the actors. So I know it sounds like a lot, but when you're working and creating small content for YouTube, it's not that hard. If it's something that you're passionate about, you can shoot in one location. You can tell a very simple story with a beginning, middle, and end. And that's one thing that the stories have to have. I'm talking a lot about vertical content because that's something that I'm about to get into here on YouTube. A vertical content around the world is exploding. And what I mean by vertical content, if anybody's not familiar with it, you could look up on Google or search right here on YouTube, go back to your home area on your home page and search for YouTube vertical series or YouTube vertical shorts. and you're going to see a lot of them. You're going to see a lot of them. Mostly where you find all of them are on, there are 3 different major sites right now owned, I think they're all based in China, and they create vertical content, and they're spreading all over the world, literally. So to learn to direct, I always recommend starting on a small scale, doing shorts. And these vertical shorts are one of the ways that I definitely think is a smart way to get started. You can tell a simple story with 2 characters. You could tell a simple story with 1 character on a phone with someone over Zoom, or you can get more elaborate. If you have, say for instance, you have 5 friends, you can have a simple story that takes place in 1 location, and you write the script, you shoot it, you edit it, and you post it on your own channel right here on YouTube. That's the easiest way to get started. And the reason I say do it, because doing it is the best way to learn. Now, there are a lot of videos online here on YouTube that you may want to look at first so you can learn a lot. It's going to jumpstart your knowledge. It's going to jumpstart your skills and your ability. Take the time, look at some of these videos. Don't try to buy anything from them, because you don't need to buy anything at the beginning. Only thing I would recommend is, if you don't have, get a cheap tripod from Amazon that has a phone holder that can hold your cell phone. Because I always recommend, especially with these vertical videos, you want to shoot on a tripod. You don't want to shoot handheld, because the frame is so small, you'll be moving in and out of the frame. Your camera will be searching for focus and exposure. So the only expense would be maybe a $20 tripod from Amazon, and get a cheap one, because your cell phone is not heavy at all. You don't need a heavy duty tripod to hold your cell phone. There are a lot of good quality, inexpensive cell phones right here on YouTube, on Amazon, that you can get to hold your camera. Now, one thing too I want to mention too, I'm referring back up to my list up here. The director, again, like I said, the director should be thought of as the storyteller. In the old days, you remember, you've probably seen it in movies. Your parents maybe even read your stories when you were a little kid. You may have read some Dr. Seuss books that were told in the storytelling vein, where like children's books. Think of the director as the person who's telling the story. That's the easiest way to get your mindset around the job of a director. A director has to see everything. A director has to have a vision for the story. And the beautiful thing about starting out on YouTube here, again, you don't have to deal with any of those gatekeepers that I mentioned earlier. You decide on the story you want to tell. You get your script together. You gather your friends who are actors and actresses, and you start to rehearse. Once the script is written, you can give that to your cast members. They can start working on learning the dialogue. And I definitely recommend making it short at the beginning. Now, what I talked about earlier were the vertical series that are really exploding across the internet. You can actually start by doing 1 episode of a vertical series. They're normally about anywhere between 60 seconds and 90 seconds. So they're anywhere between a minute and a minute and a half long. And within those episodes, they always have a beginning, middle, and end. And then they have the end is usually a cliffhanger. Now, what a cliffhanger is that's something that's going to make you want to watch the next episode. Cliffhangers are nothing new. Cliffhangers have been around since the early days of film. For instance, if you think of some, I'm not sure if you saw any old films, but if you think of old films, you'll see maybe a train is coming and somebody's car is broken down on the train track, and the train is going choo, 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 coming up to the train track. The people are trying to get out of the car, and then all of a sudden, boom, cut to black. And it says to be continued. So you create something, a cliffhanger, at the end of your 60-second short that makes the viewer want to watch the next episode. So each episode of these vertical shorts that are having a lot of success here on YouTube, and also, well, not as much success here on YouTube. They're having success on YouTube, but they're on standalone sites. But the same thing can be done right here on YouTube. The same vertical content can be created and displayed here on YouTube series. And you can run it through your channel. If you get monetized, then you will be making some income potentially from these vertical series. So that's my goal. That's my plan. And if you're new and you want to get involved in directing, I would say give that a chance. Give that a try. Vertical series are a great way for you to break into directing. It's a lot less time consuming. It's a lot less stress. Their episodes are short. You don't have to have that much of a commitment from your actors or actresses. Your locations can be very minimal. For instance, look at the area behind me in this vertical scene. I'm in my editing bay in my home, and you can see a little bit of my monitor. You can see a little bit of a curtain that's in front of me. But that could, by me just pivoting the camera like this and just showing all blue, that makes it look like a different location. So with these vertical shorts, another beauty of it is that you can shoot in tighter areas. You don't need as many locations. And because they're moving so quickly, each episode, again, is 1 minute or a minute and a half. You can shoot the whole series in one location. So that's another benefit of shooting these vertical shorts. You write a story that takes place in your apartment, and you can shoot a vertical short, a vertical series that takes place all in one location. So that's another benefit. That's why I recommend it. That's why I'm so behind it. That's why I'm going to actually start these here myself. I'm going to do some that are humor related and just to be a vertical shorts, and they are going to take place in one location. I'm sitting here thinking as I'm explaining this to you that maybe I need to start thinking about how I can do one right here where I'm sitting in my office and my area downstairs in my home. That's something that I've been considering. Instead of having to travel to an outside location, I can make some type of series that takes place here. Actually, ideas are popping into my head while I'm talking to you right now. So that's something I'm going to seriously take into consideration. But I recommend that you consider it too. You will learn so much about the skill of being a director by doing these vertical shorts. That's something that in the past, I always recommended that people do start shorts. Didn't really think about or talk about vertical shorts because that was something that was really unknown of until about 3 years ago. No one really thought it was a viable format that viewers would actually watch and enjoy. But due to the short attention span of many people these days, vertical shorts fit right in. That's why TikTok is such a big deal, because all their content is so short, so fast. You're just swiping right through it. You find something you like, you stop. The same thing can be done right here on YouTube. And YouTube is actively catering to more shorts content. That's why I decided to move my Sunday, which you're watching right now, my Sunday question and answer show vertical. I've been doing it for a while horizontally, but vertical, I get more viewers. I get more reach. I get more discovery to my channel, to my ideas, and to the content that I'm creating. So if you haven't taken a look at my channel, please follow the link below. Check it out. I'm happy to answer questions. I'm happy to respond to emails. And my email and contact information is right there. You can find out more information about me. I'm also an actor, and I've been an actor for over 35 years. You can look me up on the Internet Movie Database, jamesadamtucker, and you'll see some of the films that I acted in. You'll also see under the director tab, you'll see a number of the films I've directed. I've directed over 25 independent feature films. And then also, I've been editing all that time. So you'll see a lot of my Internet Movie Database credits for a lot of the editing projects I've been doing over the years. But I've also had a lot of business clients. I have a business where I edit video for clients. And I don't even know how many videos I've edited over the years for YouTube for clients. So thousands, literally, no exaggeration. Thousands of videos I've edited for clients. So look me up on Internet Movie Database, but definitely come to my channel right here on YouTube, Unedited with James Adam Tucker. And I'd ask you to share it, subscribe if you haven't. And then also what I'd ask you to do, if you find the time, look at some of my playlists. I have a lot of interesting content in there that I've been creating over the last year. There's going to be something in there if you're interested in acting, directing, or editing. You'll find something in there. I've even started doing some videos on how AI is relating to this business, how it's relating to acting, how it's relating to directing, how it's relating to editing, and how it can help. Artificial intelligence is a great tool. It's really going to help you in any kind of, in your business, in your personal life. So I'm a big proponent of artificial intelligence. I know there's a lot of people that fear job loss, but I don't fear that as much because I see it as a tool, not as a complete replacement for us as humans. And eventually, you never know where the future or technology is going to lead. But right now, artificial intelligence is a tool, a very, very helpful tool. So you need to learn it. If you're in school, you're studying, that needs to be a skill that's on your resume. That needs to be a skill that you pursue on the side as a minor. That needs to be a skill that you can deliver to make yourself more valuable to any potential employer. So, and it's free. It's free. Right now, you can learn artificial intelligence with whatever area that it fits within your degree. There are programs and software that you can use. You just need to do a Google search. What software is related to what artificial intelligence software is available that's related to my career? Whatever your career is, plug that blank in, fill that blank in with your career, and go to those sites. The software is free to learn, and you can put that on your resume. Employers are actively looking for employees who have experience in artificial intelligence. And the experience is not writing the code. The companies are writing the code. The companies are giving the knowledge away. They have lessons, they have tutorials, they have manuals that you can download. So you can really make yourself an expert in as many of these artificial intelligence related programs and software that you find interesting or that you feel will make you a more standout employee for the company. So that's what I love to preach that. I use in my business, acting, directing, and editing, I use a lot of artificial intelligence to enhance my work. Most recently, I did a sample video for a client, and I created all the imagery for the video with artificial intelligence. And I took the artificial intelligence images, and these are still images I'm talking about, and I put those images into my editing program, and I did panning and zooming. It's called the Ken Burns effect. The filmmaker Ken Burns makes a lot of documentaries based off of still photos. So I'm using that idea to enhance the videos for my clients that I create from still images. And those still images are created within an artificial intelligence program that creates high quality stills. And so you can describe it exactly what you want in the image, and artificial intelligence will generate it. And you can take that, download that image, put it into your editing program, and continue to move through and create all the images you need for a video for one of your clients. Now, the artificial intelligence video is still kind of new. The video that moves, actually motion video, where you can bring a character and add movement, lip sync, eye movement. It's still new, so you don't have as much control. I kind of tried it out for about a month ago, and I like it. I see where it's going. I see the value of it, and once it's ready, I will adopt it also. But right now, I'm working with the still image version and turning those stills into video. So photo to movie. Those are what I'm doing now. I'm putting motion on stills because I have somewhat more control when you create a still image. Also, there's another little problem with artificial intelligence right now where it doesn't keep the same character from image to image. It slightly changes it. So it's still new. It still has bugs, but It's valuable. It's valuable to start with. It's valuable to learn because it continues to be improved each week, literally each week. These companies are trying to make their software the best so that they can be the ones that will be the leader in this field. And so you, as a creator or an employee of a business who wants to use artificial intelligence, you learn the software, you learn how to work it, you learn how to write prompts, you learn how to use it most effectively, and you also should learn how to explain it to other people who don't have experience, because that can be a whole career in its own. Someone who interprets and teaches others how to use artificial intelligent programs that a company may want to use. So that's just a little tip that makes you very valuable to any potential employer. So the more programs that provide artificial intelligence tools to businesses that you can use, you'll be right at the top of the list for any employer to interview. So keep that in mind. Learn these programs, especially start off learning the ones that fit your degree so that you are in that position to, oh yes, I'm familiar with this program, and to talk about it and to convince people that you know how to use it. You know what the pitfalls are, you know what the setbacks are, and you know what the pluses are. So you need to know the good and the bad, the pros and the cons, as they say, of each program that you decide to learn, and workarounds for those cons. So that's just a big tip that's going to really help you if you embrace it and don't just sit back and be afraid of artificial intelligence. It's a new skill, it's a service, and right now it's completely free to learn. I've even started seeing some companies pop up that are teaching you how to use it. And guess where they're getting the information from? They're getting it from the software creators who make it free on their website. There's simple manuals, there's user guides, there's ways for you to go through the site and search for more detailed information, manuals that you can probably download and study it, learn it, try it out. It's all free. It's all free. And if you have to pay for a month to get more services, pay for 1 month, learn it, then shut it off until you need it. That's how I use it. I don't constantly pay for a service that I'm not using. So if you use it for a month to learn, to brush up on your skills, yes, shut it off until you're ready to use it again. And add that talent and that skill and that ability to your resume to make yourself stand out for employers who are looking to use this software. And always be up on what the latest and greatest updates are and the new companies. Find out what companies are in the lead, whatever your field of study are. Find out what new companies are creating software that pertains to your area of knowledge, to your degree, and learn it. All right, so thanks for stopping by. I'm going to wrap up this Sunday Live. I'll be back again next Sunday to answer your questions. And I love answering your questions. If you have anything that you want to talk to me about, please shoot me an email. My email address is right below. Go to my channel. There's multiple ways to contact me. I've made that really easy to find me, to reach out to me. Open to getting emails and sharing information with you. Email is the best way because I can think my thoughts through and give you a very detailed, informative answer. And feel free. Right now, I'm flexible. I'm open. I love talking about this stuff. And I want to answer your individual questions. That's more important to me than just giving out, general information. I love answering individual questions and giving you the straight answers. Saying the things, as I say, saying the quiet part out loud. If there's something that's difficult, I'll give you that information too. I'll give it to you straight. I'm not going to candy coat it. I'm going to give you the real information and try to give you solutions for what may be a problem, what may be a difficulty, what may be a hardship. And I love doing that, and I love trying to help people. And if I can't find a good solution, I know lots of people, and I will look into it and get back to you. So thanks for stopping by. I'll see you again later in the week. You'll find me on these vertical lives. They won't be this long. I usually do vertical lives, maybe 10 minutes a piece. And I start out with a point, a tip, And then I go into talking a little bit about whatever my topic is that day. And again, I love meeting people here on the Vertical Live in the Shorts feed, because that's how my site has been discovered, and that's how my site has been growing. And I'd like you to go to my channel and watch some of my playlists and help me build up those watch hours. I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.